Oh boy. We've had like a lot of plane crashes in the last couple days. This is really weird. But we're gonna react to this one together, guys. So we have the plane for Toronto. I just looked up plane crash on Twitter, and I found actual footage of a passenger.
Everything, drop it! Come on!
Just grabbed a handful of booty,
Don't take no pictures! Put that phone away! On the side!
put that phone away.
Holy fuck!
I think the last thing you need to worry about is a phone. I still don't get this. Are they what? Are they in the middle of Antarctica? There's a little bit of civilization over there.
God.
Why is the plane upside down? Who the fuck is the
I was
pilot?
just on this fucking plane.
I don't know about y'all, but I forgot what that one movie was. With the one pilot that did cocaine and stuff like that, and then had that emergency where he had to land the plane upside down. I don't know if we have a situation like that. Do we have like a very, very, very excellent, captain, or is this was this like a terrible mistake?
Oh my god.
The strain down the plane with water, obviously probably scared that the plane would blow up. Hence why they probably were saying to put your phone away, pretty much. I'm sure there's people recording, memorized by the situation that has happened to them, because they always say, you getting in a plane crash is pretty much such a small statistic compared to driving, and I'm sure it still is. But man, it's been happening a lot lately, hasn't it? And yeah, so obviously people were probably recording. Maybe people were trying to get their luggage as well. And if you don't know, planes have jet fuel. If you know anything about 9/11, it's very, very explosive and yeah, flammable. So it's probably ideal to leave all your stuff at your seat and not record the whole thing. In situations like this, my mind goes into a robot, and I just think of fight or flight, which is kind of funny because it's obviously a situation where they can't fly anymore. But still, it's like, okay, let me get the fuck off this thing. I bet there's a couple idiots out there that would be like, oh man, I would have live streamed this whole thing. No, get the fuck off the plane, because you're not endangering just yourself, taking as much time as possible, but also everyone else on the plane. So yeah.
I was just on this
But
fucking
wow,
plane.
this is
Holy
crazy.
fuck.
How
Everything, drop
lucky do you
it!
have to be?
Come on!
How lucky do you have to be to be in a plane crash that's upside down and survive it? What do we have here? Just days after Delta Airlines doubled down on DEI, there's another plane crash. This time the plane was upside down. No casualties have been reported so far. Interesting. I bet you in the next couple days there's going to be a lot of political propagandists that want to push their narrative and push this one way or another. I don't know if it's because they doubled down on DEI. I do think that in the whole scheme of things, you would think that DEI would be corrosive to any job, right? And my opinion on that is, it's not if you're black or white or whatever it might be. If you are getting a job just to fill a category of person because they don't have enough black people or white people or gay people or Mexican people, Asian people, whatever it might be, that's an issue. Because if there's someone that's more, qualified to have that position, and they applied for that position and they were, obviously denied because they didn't fill their status quo, their deadline of having DEI. I think that's a fucking issue. And there's going to be people that probably argue the other way against that. They're going to say, oh, there's not enough people of diversity in the company because, Trump and stuff like that. I don't know exactly what the fuck Delta's been doing lately. No idea. I know some people that actually work there, so I might as well talk to them soon. But yeah, this is kind of disgusting in my opinion. This is a tragedy. You pushing an agenda off of a tragedy, which is not new at all, happens. This seems like a right-wing social media account. At the same time, this is going to happen with the left. I'm just addressing this now. It's going to happen on both sides for sure. I just want to be clear about that, right? The audio is crazy.
Our plane crash. It's upside down.
This is a Kanye song? What the hell?
Fire department's on site. Upside down.
Okay, this is actually a very small plane. I didn't realize that until now. So the plane, how did it end up upside down? Because if it rolled, because it's like on ice, which is wild that they're trying to land it on ice. We've seen situations where plane crashes have happened because they're landing on something that's, not ideal, like highways, for instance, which is mind-boggling. But I didn't even think about ice. Like when I first saw this video, I thought they were in the middle of Antarctica, but it doesn't seem to be the case. There's like some kind of, um, stuff around here. Obviously, they had to look up Toronto, so I did figure out it was, in a city. Wow. So I wonder if the other wing is broken, and that's how it rolled.
Stuff going on.
Because obviously can't roll a plane without, it having both of its wings intact. At least to my knowledge, you can't. Unless the pilot actually try to land this. Comment down below if you know if they actually try to land it without with being upside down, which would be insane. Obviously, this is probably going to be a movie in the making in a couple of years. Typically, these kind of stories are, especially it being like a real story. Delta Airlines doubles down on commitment to DEI initiatives. The airline's announcement comes as many companies are rolling back diversity programs in the wake of Trump's administration anti-DEI stance. I think just because you roll back DEI stances that were kind of regulated in the years of the past, I don't think that should destroy the diversity, and I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I really think if there's someone that is, of a diverse culture compared to obviously the standard or the typical suspects, which is probably going to be white people. I don't know. It could be, I have no idea who it might be. I'm just guessing. I'm throwing out a guess out there. I'm sure it's probably white people, but I don't know. There's still people that are of diverse, cultures and sexualities and all that kind of stuff. And they are exceptional where they should, they should be the people for the job. Shit, the probably best pilot in the world is probably diverse. So I don't know. Just because it's because you're diverse from a different culture or whatever it might be, not white, doesn't mean you shouldn't have a job as a pilot. It's just be, off of merit, obviously, which scares a lot of people when we talk about stuff like that. But nevertheless, let's check out the news about this. So I've watched a CNN video since the presidential election. So this will be a first. Hopefully they're doing well. Give them a little view. But yeah. This is about apparently someone that was on the plane and survived and describes his situation.
Let's go right now to John Nelson. He was a passenger on the plane. John, thank you so much for being with us. We're so glad you're...
I just want to do a shout out to everyone that's Canadian, especially that watches his videos. Like y'all are going through a very rough time and my heart goes out to y'all. I really do feel bad for y'all. And I really do hope the whole relationship between America and Canada will be as good as possible in the next couple months. It's y'all. There's a lot of Canadian YouTubers I watch, and I get a little bit of a just understanding of like kind of the overall market and stuff like that, how it's been going. And apparently it's kind of like as close to the UK, which I thought the UK was in a really, really, really bad place economically. But I'm not an expert by any means, right? But I just want to, check, like, heart goes out to y'all. I really do appreciate y'all watching the videos, and I know we differ on opinions and stuff like that. But if you know anybody that's Canadian, go hug them, or from the UK, go hug them, because a lot of people out here, and we're struggling here in the States as well. But it seems like we're not struggling as much as a lot of places in the world, which is not typically new. But still, since we're like kind of connected worldwide, it's something I notice a lot more now.
You're okay. I mean, who would have known that you were in a plane crash a few hours ago? It's unbelievable. You have video that you recorded. We've been watching. Tell us when you first realized something was the matter.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a typical flight from Minneapolis to Toronto. And we were coming in, and I did notice that the winds were super gusty. The snow had kind of blown over the runways. And so coming in, it just, it was routine, but it was noticeable that the runways were kind of in a weird condition. And when we hit, it was just
This is routine? Jesus.
super hard, I hit the ground and the plane went sideways. And I believe we skidded like on our side and then flipped over on our back where we.
So I'm guessing this, yeah, this fucking wing tore completely. This is probably the wing that it went sideways on. It looked like it was attack enough to keep them from rolling. That's crazy, man. And this is wild too because I've flown on a lot of planes, and flying is fun for me, but it's not my favorite thing to do, obviously, because of the plan for the worst situation, hope for the best mentality, I guess I have. I always am buckled up on a plane, unless like we're all the way up in the air and the seat buckle sign is on, or I guess off. And I know a lot of people that I've flown with that really don't give a fuck about that shit. They just want to be comfortable. And I guarantee you, watching a situation like this, they're definitely going to be buckled, especially when they're sending. Like, I don't get why people do not buckle up when they're sending. Like, I know people that will wait till the stewardess, will come down the aisle, check on everybody, make sure they're buckled, and then unbuckle their seatbelt. It's like, really? Like, why? It's like gonna be like probably 3 minutes. Like, come on, bro.
Ended up, there was like a big fireball out this left side of the plane. And when we got finished, it was, I was upside down. Everybody else was there as well.
Jesus.
Thankfully, everybody was okay. But we tried to get out of there as quickly as possible. And then shortly thereafter, I got done filming the video. There was another explosion, but luckily the firefighters got out of there.
They were there quickly, it sounds like.
What?
Yeah.
So
this is crazy because jet fuel is so explosive, man. So, like just the one little. Oh, that's wild.
where were you seated in the plane?
They got really,
I was in
really
like
lucky.
row 10.
They honestly must have not had much fuel left at all, which makes sense with such a long flight.
Of the plane,
And a small
so just
plane.
front of the wing.
And did you see the wing come off?
No, by that point we were being tossed around. I was just trying to hold on to.
Yeah, I was just getting thrown around, and I decided to day gaze outside the window, check out the view of the ice. I hope he talks about the situation when they actually flipped. Like, what was that feeling like? Like being in a plane and out of nowhere being hanging from the ceiling. That must be a nutty feeling.
Everything at that point.
And how did you get yourself out of your seatbelt? And did everyone stay in their seatbelts that you could tell? Was everyone hanging upside down? Had anyone slipped out
Oh, I guarantee there was one person that was not buckled up.
of their seatbelts?
Yeah, I mean, it was mass chaos. I was upside down. The lady next to me was upside down. We kind of let ourselves go and fell to hit the ceiling, which is surreal feeling.
Yeah.
And then everybody was just like, get out, get out, get out. We could smell like jet fuel. Even now I smell like jet fuel.
Jesus.
And then we just crawled out the back of the airplane. The firefighters, the EMTs were there right away.
Was anyone injured? I mean, what did you see? We know there were some injuries. What was it like?
I think it's kind of ironic in a way, and I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. I'm entertaining a childish thought. I'm not trying to be offensive or anything like that, but I think it's ironic that we have all these situations with like drones in the skies. Like, we've had so many controversies lately with the sky in general. When obviously the drones in New Jersey and stuff like that, but also the drones that have been talked about with the Air Force, with their new radar systems, with the orbs, that whole situation as well. The drones that will move like a kind of a laser dot on the wall. I really do think it's kind of like, and obviously mass hysteria is played into it tremendously. I think that's exactly what happened with New Jersey. But I mean, the whole orb situation, I think, isn't mass hysteria because it's coming from the military, and it's also pretty much been acknowledged that they don't know exactly what the fuck it is. Now, in saying that, I think it's going to be our stuff predominantly because of the lack of freak out mode, I guess you could say. But maybe if it is not our stuff, the best way to prevent mass hysteria, which, if you didn't know, the orb thing has been around for a long time. I guess it just caught wind in the public eye. But yeah, it's just really, really odd to me, man.
Chaos. There was injuries. There was hurt individuals. Yeah, I mean, it's just all the emotional roller coaster that you go through. But
Bro, imagine trying to get your baggage back from this plane. Like, obviously, I don't think it blew up and burned down because the firefighters got there in time, and he would have talked about that. But man, like I thought it was hard when they just lost the bag. Just imagine when your bag is in a fucking plane crash. And I'm sure they have to like examine every single like material that was in the plane to begin with as well. So that just adds on like to the wait list, right? They have to make sure that there's nothing that maybe, I don't know, caused a problem somehow. Obviously I don't think anything did. It's just a freak accident with like crazy, like a perfect situation for this to happen. But still, like they're not gonna get their package for a very, very long time.
things you hope you don't see again, right?
Yeah,
How are you
man.
feeling?
Probably lucky.
Stressed, nervous, shaky still.
Yeah, we lost him.
Sorry, John, you cut out for just a second. I was asking
Sorry.
you how you felt, and you'd said that
Oh.
you're feeling really shaky. And we can pick that up from you. You must be very,
Yeah.
very, very stressed from this.
Yeah, a lot of stress. It's amazing that we're still here.
Yeah.
So
Wow. I bet he doesn't fly that much anymore.
hope
Yeah.
to not do that again.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
And it really is amazing, and that's what experts have been telling us. When you landed with the hard landing and went to the side, and then the plane was upside down, did that all happen very quickly? And what did that physically feel like for you as you were being tossed around?
Yeah, I mean it's it happens so quickly, right? You hit, there's this like giant like pop crack, it's this like super loud bang kind of thing happens, and then everything just goes literally sideways, and it happens so fast that I just remember like kind of pulling myself in and trying not to hit my head against anything.
Yeah.
And luckily our flight attendants and everything were helpful for us. So they are signaling me that I do need to move on. But is there anything else?
Just really quickly, do you know why the plane flipped? Do you know did it feel like it dipped one way or the other with the wing?
I don't know. I'm no expert on that one. I will let them figure it out. It feels like snow.
We won't know exactly what happened for a while. They're gonna do an internal investigation, obviously, which I believe 14 people did end up going to the hospital. Now, are all 14 of them severely injured? I don't know. I would assume there's some people out there that would obviously want to make sure, as much as possible, even if they feel fine, and go to the hospital. There's like, I'm just comparing it to a car wreck. There's obviously going to be people that aren't hurt at all, and they'll go, to the hospital for legal purposes as well. But hopefully that's the case, because I don't want anyone to be hurt from this situation at all. I don't want anybody to be hurt in general.
No wind, hard landing, all of it together.
And have you talked to your family? Are you going to see them?
I'll see them hopefully tomorrow.
Oh,
Man,
John, that's not soon enough, but I'm so glad you're going to see them. I'm so glad that you're
Thank
with
you.
us. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's wild. I
you.
wonder if they're talking about anything else.
I do want to bring in now Aaron Murphy. He's a commercial pilot, a
Okay.
flight instructor, and he's
Here we
with
go.
us tonight.
So. All right, I guess we're not gonna hear from Aaron Murphy. My computer's being stupid right now. But yeah, that's my overall reaction to this. We'll read the comments really quick, and then we'll probably do a follow up once the investigation's underway, or we have more information that's solid. Because I haven't seen anything that is actually solid from any plane expert or anything like that. They're all kind of saying they have no idea. It has to be investigated. So we're not missing much on that front. The fact that this plane did not explode in flames because of the amount of jet fuel is nothing short of a miracle. Thank God all the souls on this flight survived. Yeah, the fact that he smells like jet fuel is wild. because that obviously indicates that the fuel tank was punctured and it was flowing for sure. This poor guy sounds and looks like he still is in shock, and of course he is, of course, in shock and dealing with the effects of the adrenaline running through him after a traumatic experience. I kind of wish they would just let him alone. Yeah, for sure. He probably posted the video and then they saw it and contacted him and asked him if they could ask him a few questions of what's going on, which I'm shocked that the Delta people would even allow. So that actually is that shows good faith by them, which is, I think it's very nice of them to at least let him voice his opinion while he's still like obviously with them, which I think that's wild to begin with. Never seen an interview with a crash survivor within a few hours of an incident. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy, man. A young child was seriously injured. Oh, Jesus. And airlifted to the hospital for sick children in downtown Toronto, ranked in #1 in the world. Let's hope for a full recovery. Man, that sucks. I heard that. I thought there was no major injuries from just a tweet I saw, but obviously it's X. You can't believe everything you read on the internet. That's very unfortunate. I really do hope they have a full recovery. Surviving a plane crash is something most people can't even fathom. Thank you for sharing your experience. It's now socially acceptable again to clap when the plane lands safely. I don't know why this stopped. I think this stopped around 2020, honestly. Obviously, a lot of things changed back then. Let's hear it for the seatbelts. For real, man. For real. Seatbelts save lives. Oh, show. But yeah, my name is Trey Swish. This is the Ether. Thank you for watching. Comment down below your thoughts on this whole situation. Man, the only thing I really want to know exactly why they pretty much were upside down. I'm sure it's because of the icy runway and also the high winds. I think the conditions were just unfortunately perfect for a situation like this to happen. But if there is any like negligence or foul play or anything like that, which I doubt there is, but if there is, it's going to come out eventually and we are going to talk about it for sure. So yeah, comment down your thoughts below. Y'all think he'll ever fly again? If I was him, I never would. I mean, I saw Lost, and I don't know why those guys flew again, but they did. Well, I guess they wanted to crash on the island a second time, but it is what it is. It's not a TV show; it's real life. That's just wild, man. And if I ever saw him like next to me in a seat, I would be like, oh no, this is a wrong flight. I gotta get off. Oh man. But yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment down below, like the video, help push it out to more people, obviously, and hit that sub button. I'm not the Ether. I'm Trey Swish. We are the Ether, and sub to join the Ether. Deuces.